What's up? What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Let me know who's here in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me okay as well. Got a new microphone here, and want to make sure that the sound is good, and so you guys hear me so that it's not echoing and all kinds of other stuff. I'm not super loud or super quiet and whatnot, so trying to project the sound a little bit better now. So let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments, and let me know who's here. Let me know who's here. I'm really excited to be chatting with you guys as always. Who do we got? Who do we got? Oh, and I have something here as well. Who do we got? Who do we got? Gerald, what's happening? All right, good. The sound's good. Perfect. Perfect. What's happening, man? How you doing? How you doing? Trying to pull something up here really quickly here. What's happening, Jared Daly, my man? What's going on, dude? As always, man. Right now, the Red Sox are beating up on the Astros 9-3, and Kyle Schwarber grand slam, and they're just piling on right now. The Astros are starting to fight back a little bit, but I don't know. It's probably gonna be too late for them to do it, for them to pull this one off. I think the Red Sox are probably going to take 2 out of 3 in Fenway, in my opinion. 2018 vibes again. Yeah, it's when the Red Sox won the World Series. This Red Sox team is, Chara, what's happening, man? I know. This Red Sox team, I got to give it to them. They are absolutely money in the postseason when they're on Fenway Park. I mean, they are really, 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 really tough to beat. And it's a well put together team with some bold, free agent signings, bold trades, not afraid to shake things up. And it's panned out well. Really good player development, front office. I mean, smart people like that's, the Yankees should be paying attention. Cashman and Howe should be paying attention as to how these guys are doing things, because if they win the World Series, it'll be their 4th since 2000, in this century, I should say. And the Yankees have had, 2000, 2009 Yankees will have 2. So, even though 2000, I consider it to be the last century, but in that case, it would be 4-1. But it would suck if it would suck if they made it to with the World Series. And Gerald, Schwarber was a really, really good, smart move for the Red Sox, and so was trading Mookie Betts, man. So was trading Mookie Betts. I like Betts. He's going to be great with the Dodgers, but getting Verdugo and some of the guys they got back in return, it was a smart move. He had the 1 year left. He was about to get ridiculously expensive, and the Red Sox knew they had to start building a better nucleus. And Betts allowed them to do that. And they have Verdugo for like 1 billion years now, and he's money. So it was a good move. That's why I've talked about the possibility of considering moving Aaron Judge because of that same type of mindset. And I did my first video this morning of 3 trade proposals for Joey Gallo. If you haven't seen it, take a look at it. Gotten a lot of views on it, actually. A lot of different opinions and views and stuff like that. And the fact is, and finding out today, the Yankees actually beat out 7 other teams, and some of them were the Phillies, Tampa Bay, San Diego. So there was a lot of interest in him. So I would be confident that there would be some interest in Joey Gallo should they decide to move him. Should they decide to go that route and say, you know what, we need to move on. We need to kind of get more diverse. Even though he's athletic, he can run. He's got a cannon for an arm. But I think they need to decide whether the Yankees and the Bronx is the right fit for him. So, and whether he's going to complement the rest of the lineup and the rest of the team. I like him, but is it the right fit? I don't know yet. And again, some people are more hard on him than others, and I get it. I mean, he had a rough time at the Yankees, but again, he was adjusting to New York mid-season in a playoff race with 2 months to go and expecting to come here and be a world beater. And just because he wasn't doesn't mean he was a failure. So, this is part of the learning process for the Yankees, as to see, okay, who's the right fit and who's not. And they have to determine what the hell their philosophy is. Nobody really knows it, aside from a home run or strikeout, and that's not a sustainable, successful, model for the Yankees. I mean, they're going to get their asses kicked by the Blue Jays and the Red Sox and the Rays if they keep doing that. So they've got to come into the 2021, 2022 world, man. They really, really do. So they've got a lot of work to do. They really do. I think you'll find my Judge trade proposals interesting. Keep in mind, in all of my trades, and I said this in my Gallo video, and I'll say this again, I am going in at least one of the trade proposals, and I have 4 for Judge, but at least one of my trade proposals for every player. And after Judge, I've got Gleyber Torres and Aroldis Chapman, and I might do one for Sanchez as well. But I'm bringing back a high-end catching prospect or a major league catcher in return because the Yankees have no plan after Sanchez. I don't even know if they have no plan now. Like, I don't even know if they know what they're going to do with Sanchez. But if they move him, they need to have some young blood in here. They can't just expect Kyle Higashioka to pick up everything. There are a couple guys in free agency that might be adequate, but like none of them are going to be a long-term answer. They're all in the mid-30s. That's not the long-term answer. And they need to kind of put together the answer. And I'm not exactly sure that they've done that yet. So I'd be curious to know what you guys think of that. Do I think we get Correa or Story or Seager? Quinn, I think if they move Gleyber Torres, and I'm not sure that they will, I think if they move Torres, then they'll get one of these big guys. If they keep Torres at second, I don't. And again, I mean, there's only maybe 1 or 2 players who I would move Torres for. Now it'd be like a Matt Olson from the A's or somebody of that stature, which would, I think would then put them in a position to go get a Seager or somebody like that. I mean, Correa might happen too. I don't know. He's a superstar. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. He's easy to hate, but so is A-Rod. And A-Rod was a superstar. So Stanton was easy to hate by so many. Look at him. He's a superstar. So if I can trade Judge and get what the Sox got with Betts, you have to consider it. Yeah, and if you just wait for my packages are bold. So they're significant because, again, Judge is a superstar, and you're not going to get a Juan Soto type package. Let's 1 year of Judge. This isn't 3 years of Judge. 3 years of Judge, then you had a whole nother ballgame. But 1 year of Judge is still going to extract probably 3 top 10 prospects from teams. But I want top 5. I want 2 top 5s and like that type of level. And I want elite top 100 prospects. Okay, and I want an elite catching prospect, like to fill holes that we need. The Yankees need to beef up their catching pipeline in the farm. They do. So that's one of the things that, I'm kind of focused on in my trade proposals. So, but, they have to consider it. And again, but I have said this too. They have to, if they're going to make Judge their very best offer for an extension this offseason. If he turns it down, then you trade him immediately. That's it. End of story. Because after this, if they don't do it this offseason, they're going to lose leverage. At the deadline, they'll get less for him. And next year, they won't have any chance because he's going to be a free agent. What are you going to do? Give him a qualifying offer and just walk out with or come back with a draft pick that you don't know? I mean, I want some high draft picks and maybe a proven major league player of some degree. And somebody will pay, especially if they think Judge is one player away. Is there one guy away from, getting to World Series? And somebody will overpay for Judge. And if Cashman quietly lets people know that he's available, or he's very least taking calls, he's going to get a ton of calls on Aaron Judge. He's going to get a ton of them. And somebody's going to, at that point, he knows he's going to get a couple of big offers. So, and it just depends on whether him and Hal have the chutzpah, have the balls to do it. I know he's popular here, but popularity is only a thing that, if he gets traded and the Yankees can, win and get better, then, the Yankees are not going to collapse if they trade Aaron Judge. They're not. Just like Red Sox didn't collapse after trading Mookie Betts. So it's not going to happen. No. Austin Wells is good. He's not ready yet, though. I do think we need more. He has got a good lefty bat, and he's a decent catcher, but I think we need a more of a an obvious candidate to be a catcher. And I said this too. Like, one of the disadvantages the Yankees have is if we don't get Correa, I think he'll end up in Queens. I think he'll end up in Philadelphia probably. Quinn, if he doesn't, and they're going to sign him and then move Lindor to second. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, maybe. What I was saying is the Yankees generally pick in the back of each round in the draft, every single round. So they're not able to get the Adley Rushman type prospect and the Henry Davis type prospect and those types of guys because they're up in the top of the round. So this is why I've said that the Yankees need to draft 2 catchers every year in the first 10 rounds. Okay, one in from rounds 1 to 5 and one from rounds 6 to 10. They can still get a boatload of pitchers and position players, but I would be adding high-end catchers because they don't really have any in the AAA level that are clear-cut replacements. They have 0 options to replace Gary Sanchez, none that are ready, and that's a problem. And the free agent class, they're not appealing. So that's why it's time to get some of these high-end catching prospects who are blocked by major league starters. Joey Bart's blocked by Buster Posey. Guys like that, MJ Melendez is blocked by Salvador Perez. Superstar catchers in the major league, they're blocked. So those are the guys you go after. And guess what you're dangling? You dangle a big-time player. It makes it much more feasible. And again, like you said, Chop, can't fall in love with the players. I'm in love with the team. There are players I of course love and all that stuff, but like the team, one player cannot carry a team. This isn't the NBA where you can surround Michael Jordan with high school players and he'll still take them to the playoffs. This is completely different. There's a lot more moving pieces here. So, and we need a hell of a lot more than Judge to win. So, if Judge turns down the extension, we have to trade him. And well, at that point, yes, you can probably, either Correa or, if you move Judge, then my guess is they'll probably go after somebody like Starling Marte too. They might go after a Marte and a Seager, which would probably cost combined what Correa is going to cost. So it opens up possibilities. It really does. And you might get an elite outfield prospect in return too. But I would definitely be asking for an elite pitching prospect and an elite catching prospect in any trade. And if you can get an elite outfield prospect too, you got to do it. You got to do it. So, Rich, Padres, who for Judge, T-Rich, check out my video tomorrow. I have 4 Aaron Judge trade proposals. It comes out tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern time. And I think you'll find them interesting. One of the proposals is with the Padres. And I think it's a pretty legit one. And I also attach Chad Green to one of the trades. I attach someone else to one of the trades to make it a little bit more appealing. So, exactly, the Mets don't need more shortstop. So I don't see Correa going to the Mets. I think probably going to wind up re-signing Baez. But if he goes to the Mets, I hope they don't win the World Series for 10 more years. So, I'm not a Mets fan, so I can't stand the Mets. But I would expect somebody more like an Andrelton Simmons or Trevor Story to the Yankees if they do that. My idea of an extension, Chop, would be 7 years, probably 7 years, no more than 210, 30 a year for 7 years, no more than that. If they turn it down, I'm on the phone 10 minutes later. Thank you, and that's it. You move on. I'm not giving them no 10-year deal. Somebody probably will. Somebody will probably give him 250 to 300 million. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. It's going to make it. And again, you're going to pay, for his age 36 to age 40 years, you're going to be paying him $30 million or even more than that. Now, we already have 2 guys that are going to be doing that, Cole and Stanton. No, thank you. I don't want a third. So, yeah, the one surplus there. Exactly, Marcel. That's why I'm offering like a Chad Green. I think Chad Green was gassed. When he's not gassed, they overused him in the first half of the season. He's really, really good. I want to trade Chapman too. I actually have a video. One of my videos this week is 3 Aroldis Chapman trade proposals too. So, you keep Loaizaga, Michael King. You keep, in my opinion, now you have Steven Ridings. You got Clay Holmes. You got guys. So we still have dudes, which is, we have Wandy coming back, and I would seriously go after Aaron Bummer from the White Sox, an elite lefty type versatile reliever. So he would add to that because I don't think Joelly's going to be back. And obviously, I don't think Kluber will be back either. Yeah, and this is the thing, like Jared, he has the stink of that cheating scandal to him. So does Carlos Beltran. He was considered one of the masterminds of it. And I'm surprised people want him to come and manage here. Everson Pereira could play in the main. He could. He could. There's quite a few guys that are underrated on the farm. He could, but if they bring up a Carlos Correa, and then Pereira's trade bait immediately, and then you have Volpe is probably the obvious guy to move to second, which makes Gleyber Torres expendable in a trade. Judge for Hosmer, and there's no way I would move Judge for Hosmer. Hosmer, nah. Judge will get more, a hell of a lot more than Hosmer. I don't think Hosmer's a fit here. I hope they get at Matt Olson. He's better than Hosmer. And Hosmer's kind of regressed quite a bit over the last year or so. So he was great, but he's on a downside. And he's expensive too. Winning a World Series. And if Dina Divi, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Double D. They do, if they make a couple of good moves this offseason, and I think next offseason they can be in a position to get to the World Series, potentially even win one. I do. They have a lot of talent. They have the talent to get to October and just not to run deep in October. They need quite a few more players, and they need a new philosophy at the top. Yeah, bad timing, Chop. I mean, I don't think personally, I don't think anybody's going to start at 6 and 150. I would like to, but that would probably be turned down immediately. If he comes back with the Yankees, I hope he ages well. That's all I'm going to say. And I hope he stays healthy. But this is their one opportunity to get a haul back for a player, and he's the player that they can get a haul back for, and they need to decide what's going to be better, an extension for him or a haul back and address multiple holes. It's up to them to decide. And, I know he's popular. I know he brings in money, but so does winning World Series. So, he got wrapped up in the cheating, but we would take him in a second for the next 8 to 10 years. Correa, yeah, and Correa wasn't. He didn't act like Bregman and Altuve. They were like complete assholes. So Correa, I think he's a super duper star. Aaron, who you get? Jose Martin, Stephen Ridings in the bullpen. Yeah, exactly. Aaron, who? Daly, are you abandoning Bummer now? Are you abandoning Bummer, dude? Come on. I did all that work, man. Dude. Correa handled it. Yeah, he handled it like a pro, man. He really did. Jacob Stallings, my only issue with Jacob Stallings, again, he's older. He's like 32. He's on, like these other free agent catchers right now. He's on the older side. I think they need to bring in some young, elite, stud catching prospects. If they get him, I hope he pans out, but that's my only issue with Stallings. Gomez, yeah, but Gomez he's highly touted in the Yankees. He's got a good arm. He's got a good flip to release, but we don't know yet. It's just too far away. None of the catching prospects that the Yankees have right now are even close to major league ready. None of them. And Gerald, yeah, I think they would laugh at 6 years, 150, 7 years for 200. I've said this too. I think his floor is going to be $200 million. His floor. So I don't think they're even gonna. They'll hang up on you if you're gonna offer less than considerably less than $200 million. I think they're gonna hang up on you. I really do. This is his one chance to capitalize and cash in on free agency as a superstar. And why would he not? I don't blame him. I just don't think it's the right move for the Yankees. No. The thing I like about James Lee, the thing I like about Starling Marte too is that he steals bases. Good contact hitter with power, and he could be a 30-30 guy like every year here with the Yankees. And he would be my first guy to go after if they move Judge. Really would. And that's why I wouldn't go after I'd like an outfield prospect, but unless you're bringing back Brian Reynolds or something like that, the only guy I would go for would be Starling Marte. He is a good clubhouse guy. He's a clutch hitter. And again, I like that speed. It gives the Yankees more athleticism and versatility, and they need that. They are bereft of athleticism, and not only bereft, but the athleticism that they have, they don't use. It doesn't make any sense. And that's the other thing. It drives me nuts. If I had hair, I'd be pulling it out because it's like, my God. Yeah, if we ended up with Correa, then you can decide on Gleyber, Volpe, Peraza. At that point, Volpe looks like, he looks like the real deal. If he keeps progressing the way he progresses, then you can even move. You can put him at third and trade Gio and Torres. And then Peraza, And then you could play him at second. Like you have flexibility here. You have options, but Volpe has to keep developing. I wouldn't put him in now because I don't think he's majorly ready yet. He needs another year. He needs to progress at AAA the way he's starting to progress at AA and so on. He needs to keep ascending. So, but he looks legit, and he's a good clubhouse guy, and he's feisty too. And he's got ejected from a couple of games in the minors this past year, so I like that stuff. He has this fire that not a lot of the Yankees players display, and like with Rodney Odor, who a lot of people hate, and the Yankees might DFA him or trade him, but that's one of the intangibles he had, right? He was a cheerleader. He had a lot of energy. He was the first guy to greet you if you hit a home run. He showed energy and passion and leadership and he's a good teammate. So, and the Yankees don't have a lot of that. They need some of those guys. I liked Rizzo's intangibles too, but I don't know if they're going to bring back Rizzo either. I have to see it. There's a lot of things to do here, but be a lot of things. San Francisco Giants will be, just wait for my things tomorrow. Wait for my trade tomorrow, T-Rich, my video. You're going to see there's a trade with the Giants. I'll give you a little teaser. All of my trades for Aaron Judge are with West Coast teams, okay? Every single one of them, okay? Every single trade. Marte is also 32, yes, Darryl, and I would only give him, you could probably get him on a 2 or 3 year deal, and you wouldn't have to give 7 or 8 or 9 like you would Judge. That's a huge difference. So, and I would take it, if you can get Judge for 3 years, of course you do it, but it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. No. Yeah, Marte led in stolen bases. Yeah, I mean, it was like him and Whit Merrifield, 2 guys in their 30s, stealing more bases than the guys in their 20s. It happens, man. It happens. And I agree, stolen bases need to be. That's why they should be utilizing Tyler Wade, and hopefully when Tim Lacrasto comes back, he gets an opportunities. You have Greg Allen. You play these guys because they run, man. They steal bases, and if these guys are at first base and a player hits a double, it's not like Anthony Rizzo or Luke Voit. They're all going to stop at third. These guys are going to score. That's a huge difference. You got to utilize the speed. Absolutely, man. Yeah, Pirates have done a lot. They've made some good trades too. But if there's any way you could pry Brian Reynolds from the Pirates, obviously it's going to cost a ton. He's going to fetch more in a trade than Aaron Judge will. So, and I will debate anybody on that. He will get more out of a trade than Aaron Judge will. So he's 26 and he has lots of time left. But you got to get Brian Reynolds if you have the opportunity to. Matt Chapman and Matt Olson are both on the A. Chapman and Olson are both on the A's. Personally, Lee Santa, I would go after a Matt Olson and Sean Manaea trade. Okay, Chapman, I don't care if they get or not. Sean Manaea has 1 more year left until he's a free agent in 2023. The A's are not going to pay him. Okay, if you can package Olson and Manaea in a trade, that's when I would give up Torres. I would give up Voit. I would even consider giving up Gio because they can sign a third baseman in free agency. Okay, if you can get Olson and Manaea over here, that's a huge haul. You have a frontline pitcher for the Yankees in a trade, and all they have to do is sign one in free agency. That's a big monster trade if you can get both of them here. Instead of Olson and Chapman, Olson and Manaea. That trade would be a beast, an absolute beast. So, but, I don't know. I mean, would I be upset with Chapman and Olson? No, not at all. But, they have Gio at third base. He's adequate, but they need more pitching. And if you can score a frontline pitcher and a world-class elite first baseman in the same trade, you got to do it. You got to do it, especially those guys. Oswald Peraza is all the guys. He's the one that's major league ready, Daily Dose. I agree with you 100%. 100%. Danny, your dream infield, third base, Volpe, shortstop, Correa, second base, Peraza, first. That would be a monster. A monster infield. Athletic, monster. I would love that. So, yeah, that's what I mean, Daly. He doesn't need to bat 300, but he had like 15 or 16 home runs, clutch hits, home runs, even though I think he was going after the home run a little bit too much, but he brought so much energy to the team, especially when they needed it. And I've said this before, like when their starters were down with injuries and COVID and everything else, you had Odor, you had Velasquez in there. The Yankees were winning. That's when they won the 13-game consecutive games with those guys like Odor and Velasquez and some of the rest of them, and then Greg Allen. And when the starters came back, look what happened. So these guys are underrated and underappreciated. And again, if somebody's on heat or somebody's hot, you don't take him out of the lineup ever. You don't do it. You don't do it. And the only reason I keep Odor around, unless they have a clear upgrade, the Yankees aren't paying anything for him. So unless you have a clear upgrade, then you can move on from him. So Ketel Marte would be nice. My only concern is it's your boy. It's his injury. Like he's had some lower body injuries in the last 2 years. If you can get him, you get him. But if you can get Brian Reynolds, he's my pick over Ketel Marte. But they're both versatile, both switch hitters, athletic, good contact hitters. They do everything, and they're both superstars. So I would not be upset if they got Ketel Marte. And looks like Bean stays in Oakland. Bean turned down the Mets. So did THEO EPSTEIN. So I didn't think either one of them going to go to the Mets anyway. Personally, if THEO EPSTEIN had a chance to come here, I would give him full carte blanche. But I don't think Hal wants to do that. So you can do whatever you want. You resurrect this franchise. He would be a baseball god if he did it here after doing it in Boston and Chicago. You can give him the keys to the city. You can give him the keys to me. He'd be, I would vote for him to be the next MLB commissioner. Huh. I'm afraid Rizzo is Teixeira. Teixeira was good here, Ted. I mean, had some injuries towards the end of his 8-year tenure, but he was pretty solid here. But that's, but it is a concern, yeah. And Teixeira signed an 8-year deal as well, so that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So, and yeah, and like I said too, Brett, like, the only way I move on from Odor is if you have a clear upgrade, and that's it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to get rid of him right now, at least. So unless you're gonna commit to playing Greg Allen and some of these other guys, and but Odor has versatility; he plays multiple positions. So, and he's one of the better defensive second basemen that the Yankees have. No. Christopher Curtis, thank you for the dono, I appreciate him. Dono hype and dono love for Christopher Curtis. What's he said here? Predicting turnaround monster year for Gallo with a new hitting coach. Also, thanks for the hustle lately. Content's been great. Dude, I got a lot more for you coming, Christopher. I've got a lot more good content. I'm going to keep us all entertained throughout the whole offseason. There's no reason we can't be entertaining. We have this. We're heading into the CBA, and then we're heading into the winter meetings, and then we're heading into free agency, right into spring training. So there's a lot to give you guys. So I don't see the point in us not being engaged. I mean, we're not Yankee fans 9 months out of the year. We're Yankee fans 12 months out of the year, baby. So, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Dono love, man, for Christopher Curtis, bro. You're the man. I think you're gonna like the stuff I have coming, man. I got a boatload, and I still have my MLB free agent predictions coming too, and that's gonna be a big one. Gallo, I mean, you give him a shot, man. I mean, if you keep him, then obviously he gets spring training here. He gets to start this year with the Yankees, and I think he'll be off on better footing here. And then if they decide they want to trade him, then if he's playing well in the beginning of the year, then you can move him when his value's higher. Or you play him for the whole year and you give him a qualifying offer and you move on from him if you want to. He's only going to be 28. He's young. So, and you get a draft pick in return. So he has, it's not easy coming here at the trading deadline and just being expected to do a ton. It's not easy to do. It's an adjustment here. Am I afraid of Reynolds potentially flaming out like Frazier did when he traded? No, I don't. He wasn't. I don't think Frazier was a fit at San Diego. They didn't have a spot for him. They didn't have a right for him. He would have been better here in the Yankees. I wanted him for the Yankees. I really did. I really, really did. I think Brian Reynolds will be fine. He's a great overall player. He's a superstar player. So, Padres, it wasn't the right team for him. So, but I think it was a reactionary move to the Dodgers and stuff like that too. But because they knew they needed to bring in some more talent. My Gallo trade today involved a trade sending Gallo to San Diego and Frazier back here. So, that's one of the. I still would like Frazier. He's versatile. He's athletic, and I think he'd be solid. He's only one more year, but Reynolds to me is a superstar. Trout is breaking down, and eventually I would move him to either a corner outfield spot or somewhere else. But he's still, top of the hill. But Trout and Scherzer and pinstripes, that would be insane. But could you imagine Judge in Anaheim with Trout and Ohtani? Trout and Scherzer and pinstripes would be insane here, but I would prefer 25-year-old Trout, not 31-year-old Trout. He is starting to break down a little bit. He missed like 100 games this year for a strained calf, and being a former professional athlete myself and a competitive athlete, I don't know, calf strains that last that long. So I think it was a little bit more severe, and they were downplaying it. Calf strains don't generally put somebody out for 4 months. They really don't. Pittsburgh is a low-pressure environment. Yeah, and again, Joe, he wouldn't be the number one guy here either. He would be a table setter. He'd be the perfect leadoff hitter here too. But if Judge, even if Judge is gone and you have these other guys, you have Stanton and all these other guys, Reynolds would be one of the top guys here, but he wouldn't have the pressure of being the guy. So, and that's one of the other things too. And I think he would play. I think he would play well here. And the Yankees would have to surround him by better. Could you imagine getting him and like Matt Olson here at the same time, and they got Correa too? Like he would just worry about blending in. Paul O'Neill will be an intriguing possibility for you. I'm really curious to know who the hitting coach is, because it's somebody, if they keep Sanchez, if they keep Gallo, somebody that's going to have to bring out these guys, unleash the beast, and unlock some of these areas where they're just faltering and inconsistent. Like Sanchez, strikes out and at balls that are like 8 feet out of the zone. At least Gallo strikes out with balls that are in the zone. So I think Gallo's swing is more fixable than Sanchez is. And Gallo doesn't have these mental lapses as often as Sanchez does, or even Torres. So, I think if anybody's the most fixable, to me, it would be Gallo. But Judge for Reynolds and Stallings. Danny, I mean, personally, I would do that. I think it's going to cost more than Judge, though. Yeah, they're going to have to add to Judge at this point. I'm not sure Timothy Boone's coming back yet. I don't know if he's going to have the ability to bring in his own coaches, or they're going to want to bring in some guys. I mean, but the fact is, if you need coaches to come in here to push other players and hold them accountable, that means the manager's not really doing it. So is he the right fit here anyway? That's the other thing too. If they're going to do this, man, tear it down, man. Tear it down and do it right. So, really. But again, it's going to be hard to get guys like Bochy and Showalter because they're older, and even Schild from the Cardinals, they're older, experienced. They're going to want to run things their way. They're not going to want to be a yes man to Cashman and Hal like Boone is, and that's a big difference. So I think the list of potential guys is going to be relatively short because they're not going to want to subscribe to that, and they're going to need to they need a certainty or a guarantee. Like, guys, I'm not going to be a propaganda guy here. I want to run this team. You bring me in here, I want to run the team the way I want to run it. So, and that's where I think is going to be a little bit of a sticking point for people that want to come here and replace Boone. I love O'Neill. I don't know if he'd ever want to become a coach now, but that dude is an absolute gamer. And the Yankees need more guys like that, man. Gamers. So is Brocious. So is Tino. So is like all those guys, man. Total, absolute gamers, man. The Yankees were relentless. They hated losing more than these guys love winning, and that's another thing. They fucking hated losing. And you could tell. That they had a single mission, was to win the damn World Series, and that's this. And I've said this too. Like with THEO Epstein, you knew when he was with Boston, his mission was to win the World Series, right? Because he was out there all the time. When he was with the Cubs, same thing. You felt that you knew it, but the way he surrounded the team, has built this team and built his teams. I don't know how Cashman feels. I don't know how Hal feels. They never speak to anybody. And a lot of it's like, here's your rehearsed lines and go out and say this, that the Yankees are losing 7 games in a row and you need to just put a Band-Aid. Like, to me, that's not acceptable. And it doesn't give fans, it's not fair to the fans. It doesn't give you an idea of any kind what their mission is, what their philosophy is. And you never really know anyway because they're so tight-lipped. You never know Cashman's working on a damn trade until it's done. So you're so tight-lipped. And the other frustrating thing to me is every year, or a year that you feel like, he should do a ton, he does nothing. And you're like, oh, this guy haven't done shit. He's not going to do anything. He makes 7 moves. So it's there's no rhyme or reason or no consistency to the brain trust of Hal and Cashman. None. There's no consistency at all. So, and that, personally drives me nuts. But, and it makes it much more difficult to believe in them. No, I believe in the players but it makes it really hard to believe in them because you don't really know what they stand for. And like sometimes I feel like, and I said this before, like Hal's just running a corporate, like a hedge fund, like a venture capital. He just wants to suck the profits out because he's making money hand over foot even when the Yankees win in 90 games. So hand over foot. But to me, winning the World Series is more profitable. I mean, why would you not go for it every? Look what the Dodgers do. They blow through it. They don't give a shit. They blow past the threshold because they want to win the World Series every year. And you gotta appreciate that. They keep bringing in guys and bringing in guys and bringing in guys. Scherzer, Trey Turner, they'll do something next year too. Like they might go after Judge. Like who knows? What if they get Brian Reynolds? And I'm gonna faint if they get Brian Reynolds. Like it'd be nuts. Wade Boggs would be a terrific hitting coach. Edgar Martinez I would look into as well. Tony Pena would be. I mean, even Joey Cora would be a great infield coach because he can help them with their defense. And the infield defense has been very, very questionable over the past couple of years. Rachel Balkovic has been a great find, fantastic coach. One of the first female coaches at that level in the minor leagues. I hope she gets a major league opportunity one day. I really do. She's fantastic. Money, Timothy, money is necessarily isn't the problem. It's the way they use it. To me, is one part of the problem. Jose Ramirez, I love. Yeah, we got a good. Oh, Marcel, bro. Don't know hype and don't know love for Marcel. You're the man, bro. You're the man. Love you guys. Thank you. Do I think the CBA reached without work stopping? I think they'll get there without a strike. Yeah, I do. For Major League to grow and draw in younger fans, they need to improve the pace of play and pitch clock. Not only that, they need to. The NL needs to adopt the DH. I don't think they want to go on another strike after a year of losing almost $1 billion because due to COVID. I don't think they want to be hemorrhaging money again. So I think they're going to do whatever they can to make something work. But at the end of the day, I think the players union is going to win like they always do. So they're going to get more than the other way around. So that's the way I feel. Yeah, the majority of teams don't tell fans. Well, I don't disagree with that, Daily, but you kind of know what their mission is. You know what they're like. They're in here to win. Like Hal never speaks. He hides from everybody. Cashman rarely speaks. Like sometimes when they suck really bad, we don't want to hear Boone's propaganda. We want to hear freaking the owner and the GM. Like, where are you guys? Why are you guys never addressing the media? Like that's sucks. And again, thank you, Marcel. Thank you, Marcel Dono, man. Dono hype and Dono love for you, bro. You guys are the best. Velasquez could be the stopgap for Volpe. Maybe. I think they're going to go a little bit higher than that. I mean, Velasquez and to me and Tyler Wade are good backup infielders to play multiple positions. And I think Peraza will get a chance too. The reason why I like Tyler Wade is because he plays infield and outfield. He's got that versatility that the other guys do not have. And he's lightning freaking fast. So you give him some opportunity. And Lance, I mentioned this too, taking a chance with Justin Verlander. I would, if you can get him here on a moderate contract, even if it's 1 year with a team option for a second year and he comes back, he made Cole better. Cole needs somebody who's going to push him and compliment him. He might be a dick, but if he comes here, he'll be our dick. Okay. He can be dick to the other teams. And I think he is a gamer. He reminds me of Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens. Those guys were dicks on the mound, but they were bulldogs for the team. They won for your team. I think Verlander would do well here. I really do. And again, he would be the co-ace to Garrett Cole. Somebody pushed Cole. So, but I would do, moderate say he's going to get something. Don't be surprised if Houston gives him a qualifying offer just for the hell of it, just to score a pick back. And then the qualifying offers are almost $18 million. You're going to have to beat that no matter what if they give him the qualifying offer. So that's where, if he's getting a low salary deal from other teams, he'll just take the qualifying offer from Houston and stay there. So something to keep in mind. I think they will give him that. But if you can get him on a moderate salary with boatloads of incentives based on innings pitch and performance, I would be all over it. All over it. He is nasty. And he's healthy again. So, I don't know. So you don't have to... I'm gonna leave my staff. Why would I deal with this unless you pay me? Well, I think Boone's going to want a multiple year guarantee. I'm not sure that the Yankees will give it to him. If the Yankees give him a 1 year deal, then that shows me that they're not confident in him, and they might as well move on at that point. So I think that's going to be. He's going to want 2 or 3 year deal in my Timothy, especially after they got rid of his friends. But they weren't doing their damn job here, really. The one that has done the best job is Matt Blake with the pitchers. So, You know, they need to get better, man. They need to get better. Situational hitting, base running, contact hitting, all types of stuff. Small ball, medium ball, like everything. Castillo from the Reds, I would be interested in. He's one of my guys, one of the few handful of players I would acquire as a starting pitcher. I really would. But I would like younger. I mean, you know, Castillo, I would take over Verlander. Castillo's 10 years younger than Verlander. So, but if you can get Verlander and you still get somebody else, I mean, that's good. That's good. Verlander's not the only guy I would get here. They still need 2 starting pitchers no matter what. You really do. So, yeah, it's just exactly, Jared. I don't really care about the pitch clock that much. I mean, you know, I like watching the Yankees. I just love watching Yankee baseball. So especially when they're good. So whether it's 3 hours or 320, I don't care. But yes, analytics and player development. Hola, Perito. We definitely need to improve those areas. We are behind some of these other teams. San Diego is a possibility for Boone. So is Schilt now. If the guy at Cardinals is fired, and some other guys are going to be interviewed as well. So Syndergaard, yeah, I mean, Syndergaard's 10 years or 9 years younger than Verlander too. So if he's willing, I think he's going to get a qualifying offer too from the Mets. They might as well, because if he turns it down and somebody else gives him a 2-year deal, at the worst, the Mets give him a 1-year deal, and if he walks, then they get a draft pick in return. So I expect the Mets to be aggressive this offseason too, and Toronto and a couple other teams, especially the Mets and Toronto. I think they're going to be aggressive. Yeah, man. All up, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just all the different types of things. Situational hitting, bunting guys over, hitting, and just being competent to hit a sac fly when a guy's on third base. Let these freaking guys score. Especially if you have somebody like Tyler Wade on third base. You got to know how to drive a ball to the outfield. Like, you have to. It's just, they need to do more of that stuff and not just try to get a damn 3-run home run all the time and more often than not strike out. So Syndergaard I would consider, but not if he gets a qualifying offer. I don't want to give up a draft pick for Syndergaard. The Yankees do need to make trades. One of my videos coming up soon is 3 blockbuster trades for the Yankees. I think you'll like that one too. They're all coming out this week. Every day in the morning, I have a new one coming out. So you got a lot of good stuff coming this week and next week. But yeah, I mean, why do I think Hal and Cashman never speak? Because they don't have to. And that's unfortunate. I don't think Hal's that living with the team because he's making a ton of money. And that's one reason why. And I don't think he's the guy to put out there anyway. Cashman does some, he's like the architect. He does Hal's dirty work, and then they summon Boone to answer the hard questions and all that stuff. So I just don't think it's structurally sound. The players bear some responsibility for poor performance, but the GM is the architect. He's the one that, gives Boone these players. And if it's not the right collection of players, the GM should be held accountable. And at the very least being asked hard questions. The people at Yes Network need to ask hard questions. Even if the Yankees own Yes Network, who cares? Put these guys on the spot. Make them answer hard questions. Josh Hader to replace Chapman. I would go after Hader, Lance. I would. Rodon and Verlander would be nice, or Ray and Verlander would be nice. Really would be nice. I would be all over those two. Yeah, I mean, I think Timothy, I think it should be 2 pitchers, but I think it's going to eventually be one. If I were them, I'd be going after 2. Hill would be my, guy in the back end of the rotation. I would still keep Severino in the bullpen until he proves he's healthy enough to be moved up to the rotation. I do not move him up there until then. Dude, yeah, Munson was a beast, man. I mean, that team is just like, a blue collar, just straight up brawling team. Lee, 1978 Yankees is a special team. Scherzer would be a perfect if he doesn't re-sign. Yeah, he would be insane here. Him and Cole. Phew. And Scherzer's like nuts too. He'd be perfect. He's like a more elite version of AJ Burnett, except he's like he's an ace every single year. Him and Burnett was nuts too. Oh. But nuts ain't bad. It's not bad. Can't handle 3 measly. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Hader is always an appealing option. I would be aggressive with him because my fear is probably going to be traded to the Toronto Blue Jays or somebody like that, and then he'll wind up kicking our ass. That's what I don't want. So, but Hader, Bummer are my 2 lefty guys I would acquire in trades. Bummer probably first because he has 5 years of control. So, and that's a big at an affordable contract. That's very, very valuable. Voit and Glaber for Olsen, I would do it. Miguel, I would do that. But I would try to expand from Olsen to Olsen and Manaea. And obviously you have to add pieces to that trade, but if you can get Olsen and Manaea, that would be huge. Absolutely huge. Manaea and Verlander would be nice. Bringing story. Yeah. A villain. Correa would be, I think he would be a good villain here. Obviously, Story would be the more blue, the more clean cut type of guy and stuff like that. So I totally get where you're coming from, Timothy. Totally get it. I said that too, Lance. Like, if Aldi came here, got hurt, needed Tommy John, then he signed with the freaking Red Sox, and he's a world killer now. Why couldn't they unleash that from Evaldi? Why did it have to be that way? Get hurt here. That sucked. I really wish he would have panned out. He would have been fantastic here. Yeah, Scherzer, exactly. I think the Dodgers are eventually going to give him like 2 years, $80 million or something like that. But he's a Boris guy too, so something to keep in mind. So Boris will probably take him out to free agency, make him a 2-year, $90 million offer. Scherzer's the only guy I would do that for. The only guy. Do I think the Yankees will have the highest payroll? Not bigger than the Dodgers. American League, maybe, but not bigger than the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers will be up there. Even the Mets, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets payroll was higher too. Realistic options besides Rodon and Reyes starting pitchers. Well, Gausman's out there. Kevin Gausman. I'm just concerned about moving from the National League to the American League. Even though he's got American League experience, that'd be my only hesitation. But he's 30 also. He's young, so he'd be an appealing option as well. Correa, I think to me, Seager's a little bit of a better fit, and he won't cost as much or as many years. But the Yankees got Correa. I just hope that he stays healthy, and I hope that he sticks it to the Astros and sticks it to the Red Sox, and I hope he plays really great here. But 11-3 Boston. Ass kicking, man. Yes, I think Story's probably the only shortstop who they can get on a short-term deal. I think Marcus Simeon's going to probably get 4 or 5 years. They might be able to get Story on a 2 or 3. If you do that, if you can, then you do that. And again, be a logical bridge to like Volpe or Oswald Peraza. Yeah, why not? I wouldn't give him like a huge monster deal. But he seemed to be the one that was more amenable to it. So if you have the opportunity to do that, then even though he's righty, there are other areas where you can get more lefty too. So, the Yankees reset the luxury tax. That to me tells me like this is the year they're going to be aggressive. This is the year where there's a lot of top free agents. So they have to. Like, you don't reset it to 20% and not go out there and be aggressive. That would be, in my opinion, stupid. So, but yeah, long-term deals. So they stick them, they do stick them later on. You can front load them. So that might be an idea. New CBA, yeah, and the CBA expires December 2nd of this year. If you see universal DH, that opens up a lot of possibilities. More trade options for Luke Voit, even Aaron Judge, like this other, even Stanton possibly, Gary Sanchez. Like, it opens up more possibilities. The Yankees have a lot of offense for teams that have a lot of pitching. So they could make more trades. So it would be interesting. It would be really interesting if they adopted the DH in the National League. It really, really would. Lannon, Happ, and Red Sox got Evaldi, and he turned into a superstar. They got, again, that's why, I wish Matt Blake would have got his hands on Evaldi. I think he would have gotten more out of him than Larry Rothschild. Like, I don't think Rothschild was the right guy here, but he was here. But like that's what I mean. Red Sox get a lot out of their players. So does Toronto. So does Tampa Bay. The Yankees need coaches who are going to get a lot out of their players. So and identify little areas where they can get better. And that's it. I mean, there's a lot they can do. I mean, Correa's gonna be a little strange, but he's a superstar. I mean, I like it. I'll take his attitude over Altuve and Bregman. That's for sure. But again, I don't know if the Yankees need him. Honestly, I mean, I would go after Marcus Semien before I'd go after Carlos Correa. But I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do. I really don't. It's so up in the air as to what the Yankees are gonna do. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I mean, like, they're making boatloads of money already. Time to invest more in the players now. You know, there's been restraint since Cole and even a couple years before that, and now it's time to get some of these big dogs in here. You know, the other teams are going to do it. Toronto's going to spend. The Mets are going to spend. Boston's going to spend. Other teams are going to spend. The Nationals are going to spend. Like, the Dodgers are going to spend. The Padres are going to spend. There's a lot of things. And we have, and that's what I mean. Like, if you don't want to spend, then trade some of your tradable assets, like Judge. Because if you don't want to spend on other guys, are you going to want to spend on Judge? Because that doesn't make any sense either. If you're saying, oh, we don't want to spend $250 million, you're going to do it on Judge, but not a Carlos Correa or not somebody else. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. My shortstop order is personally a Semien first, Seager second, Correa third. But the pitching coach before Rothschild? That's a good question, Jared. Dave Island, maybe? I don't know off the top of my head either. I really don't. Yeah, Torres. I mean, I think Torres he played much better when he was moved over to second. If they keep him at second, obviously, and let him hopefully improve again. So, and I wouldn't be upset if they kept him and he turned into a superstar. Why would I be upset? He's young and he's got controllable years too on the cheap. So, Judge is definitely going to want some big money. This is his one opportunity to do it. And I would take advantage of it if I were him too. Dave Island, yeah. 30-year-old superstar. The contract will start at 31, but so what? He's going to get a ton of money. Especially, 38 home runs this year, 39, 98 ribbies, and he missed, 2 or 3 weeks with COVID. And he would be over 40 and 100 easily. So, he's a superstar, Aaron Judge. He's had injury issues. Obviously, he's only been healthy 2 of his 5 years here, but when he's healthy, he's one of the more productive elite hitters in baseball. And you put him because even you move him to one of these NL teams. If they adopt a DH, he could be the DH in San Diego, like DH in LA. He could be DH in a lot of places. So it opens up opportunities. But people think I'm nuts for wanting to even consider trading Judge. But again, I would not be upset if they kept him. No. But he's the one guy you can get a ton back right now. So you have to consider it. Yeah, the yoga helped Judge and Stanton. Most definitely, Ola. It most definitely did. And again, Judge is the most tradable and valuable asset the Yankees have on this team right now. And there's several teams I think that are probably one player away that would be willing to say, your Judge is available. We'll give you a lot for Judge. And I go into more detail with it tomorrow morning with my trade proposal. So I hope you take a look at it. If anybody here that hasn't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification as well with the all prompts, so you know exactly when I put the videos out, that we don't miss any, because I think you're gonna like a bunch of them. So Clay Holmes is a gem find, man. See, this is one of Cashman's brilliant moves, finding Clay Holmes. Training and signing for nobody's. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Jack, see you the man, bro. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, sir. Man, you're the best too, bro. You're the best. What team would you trade Judge to, though? Well, I'll watch my videos tomorrow. I have 4 of them. 4 good ones. 4 good ones. And I think you'll find them interesting. I've already said, too, they're all on the West Coast. I think they're the ones that we can afford him and have the goods to give back the Yankees to make the trade feasible. So they have a combination of the two. And he's from the West Coast. So they would be, fitting. And he cannot veto any trades. He doesn't have any no trade clauses. It's not a 5 and 10. Doesn't have any of that stuff. So they could trade him to the Cincinnati Reds if they wanted to. They could trade him wherever the hell they want. So, but he's a West Coast guy. That's why most of my team, all my trade proposals tomorrow are from the West Coast, and there's 4 of them. But they're monster trades. That would be an interesting trade there, Jack. Kansas City for Salvador Perez and Brady Singer. That would be interesting. Really interesting. My only problem with that is I don't think Kansas City would pay him what he's going to get, what he's going to eventually get. That'd be my fear. But once they move him, the only hope I have is if they move him is that he doesn't become a Yankee killer. That's it. So, Timothy. No, man, Timothy, you guys have helped this channel grow. I'm approaching 3,000 subscribers, man. And as long as you guys are on here, I want to try to get you involved. Now, sometimes it goes up really fast and I can't keep up with it, but I don't want to acknowledge only people who give donos. I want to try to get you guys involved. You're all Yankee fans and you're here and you're staying with me for an hour or so. And I appreciate that. And I have a lot of fun with you guys. So to me, this is our channel. It's not only mine, it's ours. So I definitely want to, and I appreciate the kind words and the love, bro. I want to involve everybody. I don't just wait for donos to pop up to acknowledge that person, because you have so many people here that give such good feedback, and it enlightens other people as well. And we're knowledgeable Yankee fans, man. So I want to keep everybody in the loop here. Again, it keeps getting bigger. It'll be harder for me to do, but I'm not going to abandon, the stroll here, because I want to keep looking at that and having dialogue with you guys and gals. So, Wilson Contreras, Lance, but Timothy, again, thank you for the kind words, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you acknowledging that too, man. Both of you guys. I really do. I'm grateful for you guys. Wilson Contreras is a guy I would go after. He's an upgrade in my opinion, over Harry Sanchez. And I mean, I wouldn't move Sanchez to Chicago. With maybe another prospect for Wilson Contreras. They both have 1 year left before free agency, but Wilson Contreras is a defensive upgrade. And their offensive stats are not that different, but Wilson Contreras is more consistent with them than Sanchez is. Chris Taylor is a guy I would consider. With Chris Taylor, if the Yankees let's say they make a big trade for Matt Olson, right? And they have a first baseman, they keep Torres at second, right? Or whatever it is. And then which opens up other areas. Then I would go after like a Chris Taylor, and he plays multiple positions, so he could be our Ben Zobrist type guy. So I like him. He's a clutch hitter. He's a good contact guy. He hustles, steals base. He does everything. So he to me would be a much more affordable fit than freaking Carlos Correa. So again, Correa is the best shortstop in the game, but these guys. There's a lot of valuable options out there for the Yankees that they could be really good. So, I thank you. I try to keep it real as possible. I'm not going to come out here and just tell people what they want to hear and blah, blah. I want to keep it real with you guys. So that's the very least I could be doing. And I hope other folks do that too on their channels. So I'm not here for just lip service. I don't like lip service from Larry and Boom. I'm not going to give lip service to other people. I do my research. I do my homework. I have my book, and I'm prepared for my videos. I'm prepared for the live streams, and getting you guys involved in them makes it better to me. It can't just be me talking. So I like, watching the feedback you guys give. It's really great. So, and Walk, I appreciate that too, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mexico. I mean, I used to run Mexico City high altitude, man. I ran there for a while as well. So. In Colorado and Mexico City, high altitude running. I used to run competitively, and great city to run. Yeah, Chris Taylor, man, he's a guy I would not ignore, man. I really would not ignore. And again, he could be a stopgap over Trevor Story. If he can get him for 2 years instead of Trevor Story for 3, then Chris Taylor has to be considered. That's what I mean. Like, there's so many guys That could be great here. And Chris Taylor, I like Chris Taylor. I really do. Baseball first tried to adapt the DH rule in 1920. I did not know that, Lee. Do you mean universal DH? Lee, is that what you mean? That they tried to do that in 1929? Gallo, Torres, Sanchez, Davey, and Luke Voit for Sean Murphy. And yeah, I would do that because you're clearing 1, 2, 3, 4, like five or six roster spots, which the Yankees also need to do. They need to clear some roster spots off the 40-man to start protecting some of their improving prospects like Volpe from the Rule 5 draft. So, Ola, thank you. But I would do that, Jack. Definitely any opportunity the Yankees have that they can get rid of 4 or 5 dudes for 2 quality ones, it has to be considered. So, John Boy's video on the Braves trade from I did not. Best we could. Well, yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy, Brett, too? The Yankees can move Judge to Atlanta. I mean, that's an option too, man. You add him to Acuna and some of those other guys, and Atlanta's already really good, but you add Judge to that team, and that's another level, man. Another level. Tucker Barnhart, I like too. Good guy. He got a good arm behind the plate. I ran cross country, I ran track, mile, 800, 3K, 5K. I ran, for Adidas for a little while as well after college. And I played baseball too. Judge can be a centerpiece for Olsen. He could be. My only concern, Randall, is that the A's won't pay. If they're not going to pay Chapman or Olsen, then there's no way they're going to pay Judge because he's going to be more expensive than those guys. That's my only concern. That's why I would, for Olsen and Chapman, I would add Gio, Voit, Torres, and somebody else, like a Luis Medina, something like that, to pad the package. And you're giving the A's like over 12 years of controllable years for 4 in return, but they're 4 quality. I'd be all over it. Plus, again, you're clearing roster spots like Jack C was talking about a little bit ago. And there he goes. Dude, you're the man, Jack C. I don't know hype and don't know love for Jack C, bro. Thank you. Because you read every message, whether I send donos or not. Keep up the good work. Dude, that's what I mean. Like, donos, they're really helpful, obviously, and I'm going to use donos to make the channel better, but like, it's you guys and gals that make the channel better, okay? Donos just, it's a step in the process of making the channel better because I eventually want to get this to the point where I can make a full-time income on this channel. So, but I have a long ways to go, but I want to continue doing this, and I'm not going to stop. So, and I hope you get, you guys come with me along the way for as long as possible. So but I appreciate you guys. So thank you again, Jack C, for the dono, man. You're the man. Hicks is another one. I don't think he's the long-term solution. I get why he signed him at the time, and if he establishes being healthy, I can see him. He'll be moved easier. So, but $10 million a year for his deal at moderate production, his contract becomes a steal again because he makes half of, or even a third of what the other outfielders make. George Springer's making $25 million a year. He was hurt almost the whole year too. So, and Hicks is making 10. So it looks like, paltry pennies compared to Springer. So, but Jack C, again, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. And I hope you guys stay with me for a long time, man. But much love, man. Much love and don't know hype. I have a running channel, Ola. I have a running channel. I have about 1,300 subscribers. It's called Top of the Line Running. I do live streams on that as well. And I have about 200 plus training videos. So, Ola, check it out. Top of the Line Running. There's a picture of Steve Prefontaine on there running. That's my channel. So, yeah, and I have an Instagram channel. I'm an Instagram page, Top of the Line Running, and my baseball Instagram page is Diehard Yankee Fan 447. So I post stuff on there as well. I'm not as active as I am on YouTube, but I'm going to get back to promoting it almost daily again. So, Jared, I've had this channel for about 18 months. But it's really started taking off over the past like 7 or 8 months. It's really started taking a life of its own. I think the consistency has been helping, and I did a couple of collaborations. I think that's helped too. But I think just keeping the content organic and real and being prepared and and hopefully original is what's helping the channel and keeping you guys involved in it, man. I want people to like when they come here. I want people to come back. So, and that's the more I make people feel like they're part of the family, I think it's a good thing. And that's the only way I would do a channel anyway. I mean, honestly, that's the only way I would do it, Jared, is if you guys can come along the ride with me and be part of the family, the 161 River Ave family. So that's why I do it. Okay. And Brett, dude, you're the man. Thank you. Dono hype and Dono love for Brett now too. So basically the Braves redid their entire outfield after the Acuna injury and gave up literally nothing. Yeah, guys, exactly. Exactly, man. And Rosario, like they made some swift and creative moves, and look where they're at. They're up 2-0 on the Dodgers, man. It's amazing, man. Dono hype and Dono love for Brett, bro. Thank you. Ideal infield for opening day. Olsen. So I'm not going to consider Volpe yet because he's not ready. Olsen, probably Torres, Gio at third, and a new shortstop. With DJ being the multiple utility guy to play multiple positions. But I needs to establish and him being healthy first. Jaxie, I'll never happen. I'm not working for anybody. This is I'm gonna keep doing my thing with you guys, and I won't have it any other way. So, and the only I'm gonna do a collab is with somebody really cool and somebody who fits the vibe well, and I'm not gonna do any of that other stuff. So I want to keep it enjoyable for people. Timothy, unhinged Patrick. He's fun. He's got energy too, man. I would consider it. Yeah. Look, Christopher Curtis. You're the man, dude. I appreciate it. Don't know hype and don't love for Christopher Curtis, but I thought you would only pick a side, running or baseball. Now I feel dirty. I was ready to give it up my all. Well, I don't think my running people, because my running is primarily on training and stuff like that. I used to run professionally. So I would never have an affair with my baseball channel, with my running channel. So don't worry, Christopher. This is our love thing here, okay? Ours. Don't worry. I'm not going to tell the running now. So it's all good, buddy. It's all good. So I hope that you'll consider giving you all to me anyway. But I just love that you're part of the family, man. Carlos Fitz, to another one. Dude, thank you, man. You guys appreciate the Dono hype and the love for you guys too, man. It's scrolling up fast, so I'm trying to keep up. Re-sign Rizzo, sign Simeon and Seager. Simeon for second and Seager for short. Or other way around. You could do both actually. Shit. And Voit for arms. Gio Glaber and Voit for arms, I would do. That would be a pretty robust infield. I don't care which. Let's get back to being exactly, dude. Exactly. Get back to winning and playing just aggressive baseball, man. Hustle ass baseball. So, I mean, really. I hope DJ starts hitting better when he gets healthy, man. He has to be healthy. He's got to get healthy. He's got to get healthy. There's no doubt about it. And Jack C too, bro. You're the man. Put this towards better internet so the quality gets better. I'm on it, man. I'm on it. I still watch even if you're on I appreciate that, Jack C. Thank you again, man. You're the best. You're the best. No DSL over here, man. I'm all Wi-Fi, and I'll get up with the 5G when I can too. So I want to keep it quality. I'll be spicing things up too. I'm putting an addition on the house, and this is my wife's current office. This is going to be mine, and I'm going to have all my Yankee Stadium backdrops and all my other specific stuff out. We're going to feel like we're in Yankee Stadium. I have a drone photo flying over the old Yankee Stadium. It is a dope backdrop. You take a look at some of my older videos. It's there. That's going to come back. So it is going to come back. So don't worry, man. I'm going to keep it's going to go towards making the channel better. So, and enhancing everybody's enjoyment. I do think most of his struggles due to injury, yes. And again, don't know hype and don't know love for all you guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for that, man. Simeon will be expensive, but he won't be as expensive as Seager or Correa. But he will. He's going to cost a few bucks, but he's good. He's good. I think Chris Taylor will be less expensive. Like the order of cost to me will be like Correa at the top, then Seager, then Simeon, then Story, then Chris Taylor. And then all the way in the bottom, Andrelton Simmons. Good defense, terrible bat. But how long did it take me to get to do it? Daily dose? It took me like it took me like 4 months to get to 100, I would say. And then it started slowly going. But once I hit to like, it took me like almost a year to get to 500. But then I got from 500 to 1,000 in like the next 2 or 3 months after that. It just started accelerating pretty quickly. And I think it's the consistency that's been helping. So, but even it's crazy because the majority of the views on my videos come from unsubscribed people still. People who are not subscribed to the channel. So I hope that changes over time. But either way, I mean, I just want to continue to make the channel better. So, Brett, hop over to my running channel, dude, and we'll talk about that. Similarities in running cardio. It's not even. It's a completely different system use, Brett. It's a completely different fat burning mechanism as well. Come over to my channel or message me on Top of the Line Running on Instagram, and we could talk about this. So I don't want to deviate from the baseball talk here. So yeah, I want to make sure I'm cheating on baseball or running. So, but Brett, hop over and let's talk. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about this stuff. Absolutely happy. Alan, I've collaborated 2 or 3 times with Derek over at NYY Recaps. He's the guy that I do most of the collabs with. Actually, he's the guy that I've done all of my collabs with. And I've done one with Sportsman Z as well. He's a White Sox fan. He's a good guy too. He's got a pretty good channel. So take a look at him as well. I think the Phillies are going to probably wind up with Correa, Cherry. You'll see my free agent predictions. GameCuber, yeah, I'm happy to do collabs with smaller channels as well. I'm a smaller channel, and I'm happy when guys like NYY Recaps would do collabs with me. So I'm happy to help smaller channels as well. Carlos Vids, dude, Dono hype and love for YouTube. I appreciate it, man. Thank you again. Yankees need to stop trying to be the Rays. Use analytics to be smarter, but flex the dollar. Simeon at third, Seager at short, DJ at second, Rizzo at first. That's pretty solid to me, man. Exactly. I mean, the Yankees can, improve the analytics, but use some of their financial flex when they need to do that the Rays can't do. So I agree with that 100%. It's a great point too. They need to be smart and aggressive, at the same time, and they have the power to do that. But you just need the right guys at the top to facilitate it, and I don't think we're there at the very top right now. But Dono hype and love for Carlos Vids, man. Thank you. Bearable Winter. Well, Lee, I appreciate that, man. I have a ton of cool stuff coming, a lot of fun stuff. So it'll keep everybody entertained and engaged. So, like I said, if you haven't heard, tomorrow morning, my video is 4 Aaron Judge trade proposals for the Yankees. That one, anytime I bring up trading Aaron Judge, I get a lot of flack from certain folks, and that's totally fine. And I get it. It's justified. So Aaron Judge is, the face of the team, and he's popular, and he's a great player and stuff like that. But the Yankees, at the very least need to entertain the possibility of moving him this offseason. If they're not going to make their best offer, then they have to. But they should make their best offer first and let him turn it down. And then if he does, then you move on. But I think you'll find them pretty interesting. The amount of people that watch the videos but aren't subscribed aren't. Yeah, dude, my Joey Gallo video that came this morning, right? Check this out, guys. All right, so my 3 trade proposals for Joey Gallo, this happened about, 12 hours ago at 11 this morning. That video has 4,300 views already. 4,300 views. Which is crazy. But it's catching on. So I hope my Aaron Judge ones and my other ones catch on too. So, so did you, Ludin, I'm guessing you heard my Bo Naylor trade already? Because he's in one of my trades this week. So if you haven't, watch my Joey Gallo one. If you haven't yet, he's in either Gallo or my Aaron Judge trade proposals. Here, hang on. Simonetti, I would do a collaboration with. He's nuts. But I think we'd have a lot of fun. He's very opinionated and passionate, but then again, so Yankee fans are that way. Especially knowledgeable ones. I mean, how could you not be? Yeah, Bo Naylor was in my Joey Gallo trade video this morning, so take a look at it, Ludin. I think you'll like it. Pete Simonetti, he does a lot of good stuff, and so does Derek from NYY Recaps. They're 2 of the better running channels. I mean, baseball channels that I really, really enjoy. Really enjoy. Judge will never be traded. The Yankees, yeah, they've made a ton of money off from Griminator. I don't disagree with that. But you trade him and then you get, I mean, they'll make a hell of a lot of money off winning the World Series in the next year or two, which they haven't done with Judge. So, but I get it. Yeah, he's a money machine. He's a money machine. But so, I mean, if they bring in Carlos Correa, he's going to be a money machine too. Even if people hate him, he's going to be a money machine. People are going to pay to see him. So, thinking of Jordans, that's good, man. JD Martinez to be full-time DH. If he opts out, he'd be an interesting option. And he could be I think something like that would be considered if they move on from like Judge and Gallo. I think they'd have to entertain that. He would. Bonilla is a top catching prospect in the minor leagues. Jared, he's a legit catching prospect. Anthony Michael, appreciate that, bro. What's good, man? What's good, man? Yeah, prospect catcher for the Indians. Yeah, exactly. He's a top 100 prospect, and those are the type of catching prospects I think the Yankees should be bringing back here on a regular basis. So, and Ludin, check out my Joey Gallo video this morning. It's in the description because I talk about him specifically. Bo Naylor. I'm glad you brought him up. I'm really glad you brought him up. So, and exactly, Alan. And trades that represent upgrades are trades that need to be considered. And even if people don't like people, that's okay. But the idea is to make this team better, and they need to upgrade in several areas to do that. So, if the Astros, Cherry, 100%. If the Astros don't win tomorrow, I think it'll be done in 5-2. I think the Red Sox will sweep them in Boston. So, Timothy, he's cool, man. And he does have, man. He's connected, man. He does have sources, bro. He really does. You're right about that. I would Seager over Correa. I'm of that opinion as well because Seager won't cost as much. Plus, he's a lefty and clutch playoff hitter. I mean, Correa to me is the better shortstop, but I think Seager's the better fit for the Yankees if they decide to be aggressive at shortstop. And I think they will if they move Gleyber Torres. I think they will because they're going to have to replace that offense one way or another. Well, this is the other thing too, Miguel. Yeah, I think the Red Sox, if they make it to the World Series or win the World Series, should be a wake-up call and a kick in the nuts to the Yankees. It should be. It's got to be. I mean, Hallen and Cashman need to wake up, man. Be like, dude, we gotta do a lot. We have a lot of work to do to catch up to the Red Sox. And again, they just won the World Series in 2018 and going to win again in 2021, maybe. Like, that's not good. Not a good look. I think Cherry, I think he's going to get $300 million, Correa. I think he'll be the only $300 million guy this year. But I think he's going to get it. Tim LeCastro still supposed to be he is. Well, I mean, he's got an ACL, but he'll be fast. I mean, if the wheels are there, he was the fastest guy in Major League Baseball in terms of base time to bases. He was the fastest guy. And I hope he gets it right, and I hope he gets opportunities to play. Even if he's a pinch runner or whatever the hell it is, you got to take advantage of these fast guys. So I think I think Lorenzo. I think Dodgers Red Sox World Series will be sexier, but I think the Braves Red Sox World Series would probably go deeper, probably 6 or 7 games. I would like to see Dodgers Red Sox. The Braves remind me of the Patriots. They're good every year, but they're just boring and they're not flashy like some of the other teams. They don't have the sexy names. But, like, they do have some good names, but like if they add Judge and they add like something like Chris Bryant or something like that, which they could do, and then they would have some star power names on there. Acuna's a legit stud, and Freddie Freeman is as well. And I like Dansby Swanson too. But I mean, the other teams have just the bigger, premier, more well-known names. But they're still a hell of a team. They get to the playoffs almost every year, man. Jared, I appreciate that, man. NY News is fun recaps. Yeah, Joe is McFly, Frankie Baseball. I haven't actually heard of some of these guys. I'm going to take a photo of that and take a look at them so I can see what they're up to, man. See what's up with those guys. I appreciate you mentioning some names here. Bidding on Correa has to start. Bidding on Correa, he's probably going to want to beat Lindor. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did. And I expect the Phillies to probably be in the last 2 finalists for him. You add him to Bryce Harper, man, and JT, that's crazy and completely insane. The Braves they're a well-run, smart organization. And, they don't rely on financial might, the Braves. And they're consistently successful. Just when you think they're not going to do anything, they make the freaking playoffs. They're up 2-0 on the Dodgers. I went in 2 straight walk-offs. I never thought that was going to happen, but it did. It's great. Did I do anything to promote my channel? No, I started a Instagram, let people know. I told my friends, and I just kept putting out videos, and then eventually took a life of its own. But everything was done organically by myself, daily, all by myself. So, and I know at some points I have to spruce it up a little bit, but I want to keep it just organic and real. And I'd rather the substance be better than the flashy stuff, and the dialogue with you guys be better than the flashy stuff. I don't want to get away from that. You know what I mean? I want this to be our channel. The only team that can pay, the Phillies can pay him too. They have Dave Dombrowski now. He's a bold ass GM. So, the Yankees could afford him, but so could the Phillies. The Yankees are probably the only team that can outbid anybody. But I think the Yankees might make an offer, but I personally am of the opinion the Phillies will wind up with him, but I could be wrong. I really could. We'll see. It's going to be a really interesting offseason with guys like that, but he's going to be an impact player no matter where he goes. He's going to make that team better. I just don't see him going back to Houston. So, and I hope it hurts Houston. So, went under 210 this year. They're not at 232 right now. They're under 200, Brett. Folks are factoring like arbitration raises and not including guys that are off and stuff like that. Mathematically, they're under 200 right now. So, you don't get under 210 and have it increase that much while losing guys. It just doesn't happen that way. So, I would wait until the official financial commitments. Until you up guys, arbitration raises, re-sign guys. I don't include any of that stuff. So they have some money cleared for that reason. Target pitching Schwarber. Schwarber will be fun. He had a freaking grand slam today with the Red Sox. Or Freeman before Correa. Yeah, well, pitching, Daly. I've said this. Correa is nice, but not at the expense of pitching. I'd much rather get Ray and Verlander and Bummer than Correa. I would. That's 3 guys that can make an impact. Correa's just one dude. No. Yeah, this time right. $300 million payment? Yeah, I doubt it, Gerald. I don't see them getting there anytime soon. I think the Dodgers will probably be the first team to get to 300. And they're not afraid to do it because they're going to keep winning World Series. So, Cherry, yeah, that's right. Every team is. I was thinking of doing that. Off-season outlook for team, what I think they should do versus what I think they will do. But I kind of got into these now, and I think they're more enjoyable. But I might. Somebody asked me to do a video on what I think the Mets should do, so I'm working on that. That's going to come out in a couple of days as well. And I might do a couple of the teams. I don't know that I'll do all 30 teams because I found so many good videos to do right now. But if it's something that you want me to do more often, Cherry, I'll be happy to do it. Especially if free agency is slow, and it makes more sense to do more of that stuff. And I do think it's going to be slow, particularly for the big guys. So, I think it's going to be a while once they figure out, because it's going to take a while to figure out what the CBA is going to be. So, it's going to be quite a bit of a slower later. A lot of moves are going to happen late in free agency. So, and that's totally okay. But if it's Cherry, if it's something you want me to do more of, just let me know. Bummer's on an affordable contract for 5 more years, affordable years. So And he's versatile lefty, and the Yankees would be moving on from Joel, and he would just be a good fit. I liked what I saw from him in the playoffs. Arias from the Twins. It's an intriguing possibility too, Luden. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the other thing too, Daly. Like, like I'm familiar with this stuff, and everything that I do, I research. And it did take a lot of time to do all the teams. I might do some a handful of teams, but I don't know how to do all 30. But I the stuff that I'm most knowledgeable and passionate about are generally the things that you guys are too. So I want to keep along those lines. And until I get a request from somebody, if somebody requests that I do something, I'll do the work for it and the research, and I'll come out as a video as best I can put out. So my free agency predictions will be out by what's today's date? It'll be out before Halloween. My MLB free agent predictions, and I'm probably going to be doing about the top 30 players. So, but if there's any particular player you want me to predict, I can do that. Cherry, Daly, whoever. If they're not on my list already, I'll add them to the list. Carson Kelly's another intriguing option. He's another intriguing option, Miguel. I think they move on from. Do I think they move on from Rizzo and Gallo? No, I think probably just Rizzo. Probably just Rizzo. I think they might be looking for a path to get DJ over to first, in all honesty. But if there's a way you can get Matt Olson, you gotta get Matt Olson here. You have to. So, but yeah, I agree, Timothy. I think the World Series is going to come out of the American League. I think the Red Sox are going to win it. Yeah, I hate saying it, but I think they're going to win it. They just look way too good. And until Hal, makes it clear that winning is more important than profits, then I think it's going to continue to be that way. Teams are going to just be better than the Yankees. He's got to be ballsy one of these off seasons, man. He really does. DJ and Rizzo platoon. I mean, it could be, but I'm not sure, Akio. And it's possible. But if Rizzo comes back for first base, and I see DJ being kind of like a super utility guy playing all the infield positions while giving the veterans rest. So, Timothy, I hope they make noise, man. I really, really do. I really do, bro. You can move Gallo to first. I mentioned that too. I'm glad you mentioned that too, Daly. You moved Gallo to first. He's a left-handed hitter. He's already in the books, like elite glove. And then if Hicks, we'll figure out what to do with Hicks. But Gallo he's like my fifth guy in order for first base after DJ. But I have considered him, and I may have even mentioned him for first base daily in one of the videos too. Mets fans, thank you. Thank you, Mets fans. I'm actually going to do a video on what I think the Mets should do this offseason. It'll be in a couple days. Go to meet one day. What? Why wouldn't he go bowl late? He should, Timothy. He should. He definitely should. Olsen would look like Lou Gehrig here. He would be fantastic here. He would be fantastic. Early playoff prediction for next year after my free agent. I'll do that, Miguel. Take a video of that too. Take a picture of that so that I don't forget that. So after the free agency predictions, what I think teams will do if they get those players, that's a good idea. I'll do that. Gio really wants to play shortstop. I would have Chapman. That's when you get Chapman and Olsen, Akio, most definitely. If they put Gio at third base, then you bring Chapman and Olsen, if you can. Because then you have third base and first base covered, and then you can either put DJ at second or Gleyber Torres if they don't trade him. And then that's a ridiculous infield. So, no, I get it, Timothy. I totally. Don't be sorry, dude. I mean, he's a good coach, but he still has this thing of, cheating on him. And I still think he's a little dirty. But it's probably what makes him such a good fit in Boston. The Mets. I have a feeling the Mets might wind up with Marcus Semien. if they do, they won't re-sign Baez. That's my one bold prediction for the Mets. So wait for the video that I pop out. I'm almost done, but I think you'll enjoy it. I fear they're going to wind up with Simeon. And don't be surprised if they potentially go after Chris Bryant too. That would change things around for them a lot. We got Olsen and Seager. Miguel, our lineup is total. Yo, it's 100. It's crazy nuts. Crazy. All out Chapman. I have a Chapman trade video coming up in a couple days as well. That's one reason why I'm doing trade proposals, because I think these are the most movable guys. DJ, Seager, Judge, Stanton, Olsen. God, that'd be crazy. Would be crazy, Miguel. Schwarber go to the Yankees. Well, they didn't trade for him. I mean, I don't know, Bernie. That's a good question. I mean, they could have, but they are. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, he can go there as a free agent, especially if they don't bring back Rizzo and they trade Voit. Then first base is wide open. Wide open. Anthony Michael, no, I don't have. If this is the this is the thing. If you clear all that, you get under the threshold. Why in the hell would you have a mediocre offseason in such a deep free agent class? Then yeah, I don't have faith in him. I don't believe that they're in the business of winning if they do that. So I'm with you there, Michael. Anthony Michael. Bias to the Astros as possible. Conforto, I think he's going to get a qualifying offer. He'll probably accept it because he didn't have such of a great year. That's my prediction, Akio. I'm losing faith in them too. They're perplexing and they're frustrating. They're just not transparent at all. So I think the Mets are going to target, Bryant, Seager, Kyle Seager, 100%. He's going to be bold. Steve Cohen's going to be bold until they're in the playoffs, deep. In the playoffs, I think he's going to spend the next couple of years. Move Britton. I would. I just don't know if it's possible because he's going to be injured most of next year, Daly. But if I could, you attach somebody to him, like a high-end prospect to clear off that payroll. Even if you have to do the same for Chapman, I would attach to, prospects of a decent prospect to get clear that $30 million off the payroll. No doubt about it. Mets fans is coming out next week. It's coming out next week. So my Mets video. Yeah, they could have Bernie. I don't know why they didn't. The Yankees generally don't want to do a full rebuild ever. They just want to retool. But Cashman, I mean, the Yankees don't have to rebuild. They retool and restructure without having to tear anything down. So, but yeah. If the Yankees make if they make a really good pitching move and a really good offensive move, Jeremy, and then I think they'll be contenders. But it has to be the right moves. It has to be the right moves. I mean, they're close. They have to be smart and they have to be aggressive at the same time. The only way I trade Chad Green, he is cheap and good. He only has one more year left of free agency. So only way I trade him is if you're attaching him to a trade with somebody like Aaron Judge and getting a haul back and like saying, I'm gonna sweeten the pot by giving you Green if you'll take Aaron Judge. Like those are the types of trades I would move him. But he's been good. He was just overused the first half of the season. He was gassed at the end. So Toronto does have the cash to sign Simeon and Ray. And I have a fear they're going to wind up trading for Josh Hader too. So that's my fear. Toronto's going to be smart and aggressive. I would give up Luis Medina if somebody would eat all of Britton's contract. I would. And then I would give up Albert Abreu as well if the Yankees, somebody would take Chapman's contract. Mets fans, I don't know. But that's going to be in my Mets video. So hang tight, Mets fans. I'm not going to give out all the intel yet. The Yankees announced, I think it's going to take a few weeks, Miguel. Kyle Schwarber will get a decent deal because he'll with his performance, he deserves to get a solid contract. I'm not going to get a monster like 100 rows, but like 100 mil, but he'll get paid. How can you ban for life Pete Rose who cheated? Gambling won't let him in the Hall of Fame. Cora gets past. Need to bounce. That's, I mean, Timothy, I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame as a player. He didn't gamble as a player, gambled as a manager. So, but he was one of the best players in baseball history. Cora, Cora was suspended for a year and then that was it. Like, I agree. I agree. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame as a player. I don't condone the cheating, but again, he wasn't cheating on the field. He was gambling, obviously, which is a sacrilege in baseball, but like, he wasn't a player when he was doing it. And he's not going to go to the Hall of Fame as a manager, so. Anthony Michael, yeah, I mean, Odor and Velasquez, I think they're going to do better than that. I mean, they better. So, the Yankees are going to need very good, smart coaches. That's why I think they're going to take their time. They better take their time to bring the right guys. They really do. It's a lot of guys, man. Akio, personally, I would start Sebi in the bullpen, and then if he builds himself up and smartly and stays healthy, then you try him in the rotation. But I personally wouldn't just throw him to the wolves. That's one reason I would bring 2 starting pitchers in, because he would be better in the rotation. You can get 3 just innings of darts out of Severino. You do it, man. But yeah, I'm also going to wrap this up, guys. I know some folks been coming out there. Anthony Michael, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You guys are my favorite, Yankee fans, and so I appreciate all you guys. Mattingly, I would consider if Jeter would be willing to give him up, but I appreciate all you guys, man. Before I go, have I heard any rumors about the Yankees announcing Boone's returns? No, I haven't heard anything yet. And again, Anthony Michael, I appreciate the kind words, appreciate the donos and all the love from everybody. And Cortez finish off Stevie starts, or the other way around. So, or you can do a combination of Cortez, Herman, Sevi in whatever the hell order you want. Those 3 guys, pack them in 3 innings each in the game. I think they do pretty well. Daily dose. Just a thought to think about for next time. But thank you, everybody. Have a great night. And I'll see you on Wednesday for another live stream if you guys are around. And watch out for my videos in the morning. You're going to like them. Talk to you then.